Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Hi, I'm Mand. If you like all things spiritual, tarot, oracle card related with a little bit of witchiness thrown in, then I would say hit the subscribe button. Love to have you part of the community that we have going on here. So don't forget to like, comment, and share. What are your favorite witchy aesthetics, witchy decks that you have in your collection? So I have done a witchy oracle deck collection, so now today I'm doing the tarot deck collection. So this is actually interesting because I thought I had like kind of equal amounts, but I don't. I have more oracle than tarot, which is not surprising because I'm getting more picky with the decks that I'm buying. I'm definitely being more conscious. So one that I do want to mention is Tarot the Witch's Garden. I don't have that. I must order it yet. I am absolutely 100% eager to get my hands on that. But I do have 6 decks that I want to talk about here today, the witchy decks within my collection. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. And I think we can all guess which one I'm going to show first. And that is, and I'm really sorry about the glare. I'm still kind of working around in my office to see where the lighting is the best. I might actually have to move my desk and whatnot. But this is the Green Witch Tarot. We all know how much I love this deck. This is a Llewellyn deck. I actually have a few Llewellyn decks. I really enjoy their ones, their decks. I love the cards. I love the card stock to an extent. It's actually really easy for me to shuffle because I shuffle overhand. And this is one of my favorite tarot decks. It was one I was so slow on getting. And now that I got it, I have it with over a year, I think, at this stage. I love it. I love it so much. It is definitely one of my favorite ones. I believe I've seen it in like a Don Michelle one, and I absolutely adore it. I'm trying to see where works best. This is one of those all-round kind of witchy decks. It, is very homey to me. It's a very home deck. It's something that I find very much comfort in. And I love the whole elemental aspect of it, and the way they incorporate obviously the wheel of the year, even though I wouldn't say 100% like I'm traditional witch or anything like that. I would say more eclectic. I adore this deck. I love the artwork, and I'm really eager to get my hands in Tarot the Witch's Garden because I've seen so many people talking about it and I really want to get my hands on it. But with Book Depository being gone now, it makes it a little bit more challenging to find places that do decks at a very reasonable price. But this is such a wonderful deck. I even feel for like beginners, it's gorgeous. The artwork is gorgeous. It has all, the elements feel so rich, and like I feel, I definitely, because I did a tag there on like what is the decks that you live in or something like that, and this is one of them. I would so move here. I could totally see myself setting up a home and just happily living in here. It is so nice. Even the difficult cards are still, like, okay. And the guidebook is so good. It has so much detail. Like, honestly, it is one of my favorite decks, as you probably all know at this stage. So that is the Green Witch Tarot. So sticking with that Llewellyn theme, I also have the Everyday Witch Tarot, and everybody knows how much I love this. This one is by Deborah Blake, and the artwork is by Elizabeth Alba. I love this. Again, another amazing guidebook. I mean, honestly, I remember seeing this deck on Charmed Intuition. She does pick cards, and I just loved it. I knew I had to have it. I absolutely adore it. I love her pick cards anyway. And just the detail. These are very glossy. I've noticed Llewellyn tend to do more glossy cardstock. But this has a mixture of modern and old in it. Now, well, some people don't like that. I don't mind it. I find this is a very easy reader. I don't always necessarily have to use the guidebook, but when I do, the juicy information sometimes is like it hits home. And I really, really, really do love this deck. And I actually haven't worked with it with quite some time, which makes me sad because this is such a gorgeous deck. It's one I actually brought with me when I went to France a couple of years ago, and I loved it. I love the cats in this. I love the depiction of the people in it. Like I said, it's a mixture of modern and old, which I find is a great balance in it, but I know maybe not everyone feels the same, and that's all right. Like, I just love this. And like I said, the artwork is just stunning in this one. It really is. Like, look at the dragon and the cat. I just love that. And I love the fact that there are cats. I promise I'm going to stop talking about them in every card. This is another beautiful one. If the Green Witch Tarot isn't your thing, I feel like, you know, this could be some people's things. I'm sorry if you can hear noise in the background. It's actually my dog. He just loves kind of hanging out here with me. And did I show you? I showed you the backs already. The backs are so cute. Now, they're not reversible, but that's okay. I know there's a mini of this deck as well. I don't have it because I feel like this is just perfect. But who knows? I could pick it up. Who knows? But I do love it all the same. So that is Everyday Witch Tarot. And I promise this is the last Llewellyn deck. This is the Dark Wood Tarot by Sasha Graham, and the art is by Abigail Larson. Now, while this isn't just predominantly witches, right, I really felt that, again, Llewellyn coming at us with a big juicy guidebook. Honestly, this guidebook is massive and it's so good. But I wanted to include it because I feel this is more of that shadow aspect of kind of witchcraft and things like that, right? I don't want to say of the darker nature because that sounds like really, it sounds like sometimes we associate dark with bad, and that's not the case at all. That's not the case with this at all. This is a great one for that kind of shadow aspect, that shadow work. These are reversible, which is nice if you're into reversibles. I don't read, now as you can, I don't read reverse cards. Now, as you can see, mine is still pretty new. I don't use it a whole pile. Now, there is nudity in this card. I don't think all the cards are like that, but it is more of the darker nature. I'm after dropping it there. Oh my gosh. Don't I roll over it. I don't want that. It is more of the darker nature, more shadow aspect, but I did want to include it because it does have a witchy feel to it, kind of in one sense that Disney villain, right? But they're bad, but they're not really bad, you know, that kind of a way. It definitely has a more cartoon feel to it. I don't know why my sun is reversed, but like I said, it definitely has more of a cartoony feel to it, but I definitely feel like there's witchy elements within that. So, you know, like the cats, but not just, you know, not just cats are associated with witches, but it just feels more of that shadow aspect, right? And this is a gorgeous one. And now that I'm looking at it, this happens every time. I'm like, oh, I want to work with this deck again. But I just feel like this isn't a deck that you pull out for daily draws. Like, does that not give you Maleficent vibes? Like, oh, yes, please, thank you. But it does. I feel like it has that very witchy vibe, the witchy aesthetics. There's definitely like this storybook feel to it, so it could be incorporating kind of fantasy fairy tale-esque as well, but I wanted to include it in my witchy one because I really do feel that this ties in nicely. I know there's a witch card here somewhere. There is, there we go, the Two of Wands, see? So yeah, that is the Dark Wood Tarot, and I feel like sometimes this can be slightly underrated, or it was so hyped now people don't talk about it anymore, which is kind of sad. I miss people talking about other decks and things like that that should still kind of get recognition, but I get it. There's a load of decks coming out now, so it's hard to keep on top of it. But that is the Darkwood Tarot. Now we have the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. I'm just looking at it. It looks like I have all ones that are in like these big chunky boxes. And this is by Phyllis Cura, and the artwork is by Danielle Barlow. Oh, this deck, you guys, this deck. This is definitely a Lisa Papez made me do it kind of a thing. Well, she didn't, but you know what I mean. I love the guidebook. It is, I love that linen feel to it. Let me move this box out of here. I need to get a bigger desk, you guys. This is a very interesting deck. I would highly recommend watching Lisa's video and then kind of walking through the deck with that video to get kind of a understanding. Now the guidebook is pretty good. I must reread it again. I like Phyllis's writing. It's very, very good. I love the information in it. Everything is described perfectly, beautifully. Like, I love the way the miners have like keywords as well, not on the cards but in the guidebook. And I love the way Lisa describes things as well, so that's always so nice to watch and things like that. So we actually start off with the minor arcana, and then at the back is the major, but we don't start with the Fool, we start with the World, and it like works its way backwards, which is very interesting. It's very different to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but if I remember correctly, it's all explained in the guidebook. I believe you can't get that one anymore. Maybe you can, but I know they brought out the typical Hay House one now. Hay House normally don't do those big, well, they do for some, but not for every tarot deck. This cardstock, beautiful. It's lovely. It's that old Hay House, beautiful, good cardstock. But for a tarot deck, oh my goodness me, this is an absolute... Okay, it's not shuffling too bad, but when I first got it, because it's kind of loosened up a small bit, oh, this was a nightmare to try and shuffle. It was very stiff. It's a heavy deck, to be honest with you. It's a very heavy deck. I love the backs on these. I swear, I'm showing you all the boobs today. I don't know what's going on. But aside from that, again, this is so unique. It's so different. Okay, it's not your typical Rider-Waite-Smith. Is it suitable for beginners? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't believe so, to be honest. Even though I consider myself very new to tarot, I still find myself very much referring back to the guidebook on this one when I use it. But when I say the guidebook gives amazing messages, my own intuition peaks every now and again, but there's a lot of animals incorporated in this as well, and I sometimes don't know certain animals. You know, it's hard to know everything, but this one was interesting because, again, like I said, I watched Lisa Papez's video, which really helped me understand some of the cards more, because like her, I thought this was a flower, okay, because I thought, you know, petals, right? It's not. It's a watering hole for the animals. These are the animals walking towards it. How I missed that, I don't know, but you know, it's interesting. Oh, and there's 7 sections to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so do you see what I mean? There's a lot to this deck that I find super interesting. It's not people oriented. It's more like a mixture of animals and humans, which, you know, that is the way the earth is. It's about living in harmony with animals, with the earth, with nature, and things like that. I love the shaman card. It's so beautiful. I love this Ace of Earth. You know, this pairs so well with the herbal astrology deck as well. I might do a video on that. I love the way this depicts his lungs. I might do a video on that as well, of the two of them side by side. I feel like that'd be a great one to see, but this is very grounded. This is very nature based, so you know, animals, it's a good incorporation of animals and people, but it's not so much people focused on humans. It's like a combination of the two. I love this 10 of Earth. The little mushrooms are so cute, and the 9 of Earth as well, with the Northern Lights and the wolf and the pack. It's just, this is such a great deck. I really truly love this. Sometimes I find it hard to, like, some of these make me really sad, but I do love this deck. It's definitely a deck I'm going to be bringing out soon again. I haven't worked with it for quite some time. So that is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Now we are going to talk about the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sterl, is that how you pronounce it? And this is a Liminal 11 publication. I like and don't like this deck. I don't work with a whole pile anymore. I used to when I got it. What I don't like is, I don't know, can you see? I hope you can see that. This looks gorgeous, right? The deck is gorgeous. The box is lovely. This doesn't stay. It drives me nuts. It really does. And it kind of stopped me from using it as such, but also the card stock isn't the best in this deck either. So you get an extra card, everything is fine. Yeah, hon, it looks it. And like, honestly, I have used this deck. It's just this card stock is so chunky. And this is your little guidebook. I love the fact that it's a little hardback. I like that. I really do enjoy that. Now, the information is minimal. It's not in depth. It's fine. It is what it is. It's grand. It's glossy. It's very glossy. It's not the worst cardstock, all right? It isn't the worst. But it is a chunky deck there. If you're into riffle shuffling, I'm not sure how this works out. I've heard a lot of people, if I'm correct, not really liking this deck because it's stiff. It's a very, very stiff cardstock. I hope you guys can see that. I don't know. Now, I'm not sure if mine is in order or not because I know I was using it for some study work. I like the modern feel to it. But I just feel like I have other decks that I like more. But I wanted to bring this in anyway. I know it's a modern witch tarot and like witches look all completely different. But this is just a modern version of the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is perfect, absolutely perfect for people beginning in their tarot journey. Maybe you don't know what deck you want to get and you want kind of a modern feel one. This is a great one because it follows pretty much the Rider-Waite-Smith system. But I'm not sure if I love it as much as I did at the start. And that happens with decks over time. That's completely normal. That's completely fine. It's not one I do find myself reaching for anymore. It's just sitting there, which I don't like either. But then I take it out and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I like it. So I'm not really sure, but I do feel if you're learning, this is probably a great one for you because again, it really just follows pretty much Rider-Waite-Smith system. So it's a great one to have as a beginner deck if you don't like the whole the actual original Rider-Waite-Smith. You find it maybe too yellow, or I know some people have that complaint. But as far as witchiness, there is no real witchiness to it, to be honest. But I did want to mention it all the same. I feel like the 4 other decks I've shown are, I love this Fool card. I feel like the other 4 decks that I've shown, see these ones are going to kind of be in order, are far more witchy, definitely. But this one, I wanted to mention it anyway because it is Modern Witch Tarot. So, yes, and the last one I want to, it's more of an honorable mention, to be honest. I couldn't not mention it. But it is the Wizard's Tarot. And for a lot of you that have been following me for quite some time, you know I actually got this for my 30th birthday. This doesn't come with a guidebook, which is fine. It is by Paper de Lune. I'm not mad. I mean, to be fair, as far as tuck boxes go, this is a pretty sturdy one. To be fair, I'm pretty sure I said that before. The backs, I'm not too gone on. Like, I really don't need the whole The Wizard's Tarot written on the back, but it's fine. I have to mention this because I love Harry Potter so much. And so I wanted to include it in this video all the same. Like, if you're a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise and the movies and the books and things like that, I'm planning on rereading the books this year. Probably from the Goblet of Fire on, because I've read the first 3 like several times. And this is just, it's not a deck I have worked with a whole pile as of yet, but I do intend to. I'm hoping they might bring out a guidebook with it. That would be really cool. It is all black and white, so maybe kind of monotone decks. If they're not your thing, you mightn't like this. No, it doesn't bother me. But I just, oh, I love this. I love this deck. The cardstock is alright. It's not bad at all. And I just love the way they've done the deck. I really do. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love the way they've used parts of the movie in it. And oh, I just love this. The Quibbler, so cute. So my lovelies, that is my Witchy tarot collection as of yet. I am probably going to go order the witches or the tarot of the Witch's Garden after this, and so probably expect a walkthrough, although I'm pretty sure everybody has. But anyway, so I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world, and I will chat to you all real soon. And thank you so much if you watched to the end. I always appreciate it. Bye guys.